all these tariffs, the stock market is crashing. Yo, is Trump destroying the economy?
So do you want to know the part that they're not telling you about tariffs? Here's the reality that nobody's talking about. Nobody.
I had this wordy, heady video ready to go about the history of Denmark's agricultural industry and Japan's use of tariffs as part of their strategy for developing the audio industry in the 20th century. But honestly, man, yo, I'm gonna let these guys say it way better than me. Watch it to the end if you're interested in understanding exactly what Trump's strategy is for rebuilding and resetting our economy the real way, the right way. And if you're a contrarian like me and you're tired of these mainstream narratives, man, hit that like and subscribe button. Share the video with someone, man. You're gonna like the channel.
Trump is crashing the stock market by 20% this month, but he's doing it on purpose.
What we have wrong here, Shannon, is this isn't a trade war. This is balancing our economy with countries that have taken advantage of us. There's countries for decades that have got rich over the backs of the workers here in America. What's happened is we've lost manufacturing jobs where, because of our unfair trade deals that have left America, went to other countries, building their products and turning it back around and selling it to our economy. The countries need access to our economy because we're the largest and the greatest economy in the world. The problem is it's costing us manufacturing jobs. It is time for someone to stand up, and I applaud President Trump for having a backbone and being the first president to ever stand up and say, hold on a second, it's not about today's economy, it's about the future of America's economy going down the road. We know the trade deficits have spread. They've only got worse year after year after year, and at some point someone had to do something about it, and President Trump is finally doing that.
This lighter costs $25 in America to buy an American-made product, okay? China makes one, sells it for $20 here in America. Out of that $20, $5 goes to whoever in America sells it. $15 of it goes back to China.
What the opportunity is to rebuild the global trading system in a way that works for the United States, which we didn't have. I think there's also the opportunity on globalism to reverse it. EJ was talking about China. You know, they're still getting loans from the World Bank. I couldn't stop it. They're still getting debt restructurings. When they make a bad loan abroad, they get all their money back. And so the whole system is set up in a way that favors them and not the U.S. So this is a starting point.
You buy the $25 one in America, all $25 stays in America. So now we want to say, let's balance this out, and we're going to put a 50% tariff on Chinese goods. Now this lighter costs $30 to sell in the United States. Now you have the U.S.-made one at $25. It is cheaper. It's more expensive in the big picture, I get it. But it's now cheaper, so people are going to buy the American-made one. 100% of the $25 that you spend stays in America, stays here. The demand increases for that business has to hire employees. When many businesses hire employees, that creates a supply shortage of employees, which make wages go up.
I got a report from the USTR last night that more than 50 countries have reached out to the president to begin a negotiation. But they're doing that because they understand that they bear a lot of the tariff. And so I don't think that you're going to see a big effect on the consumer in the U.S. because I do think that the reason why we have a persistent long-run trade deficit is these people have very inelastic supply. They've been dumping goods into the country in order to create jobs, say, in China.
So why is he doing this? To push cash into treasuries, which forces the Fed to slash interest rates in May, and those lower rates give the Fed the ability to refinance trillions of debt very inexpensively. It also weakens the dollar and drops mortgage rates. Now, it's a wild chess move, but it's working. Now, you're probably wondering, what about his tariffs? Well, I'll tell you, it's a genius play. It actually forces companies to build here to dodge them. It also forces farmers to sell more of their products here in the U.S. to bring grocery prices way down. We've already seen this with eggs. Now, remember, 94% of all stocks are owned only by 8% of Americans. So Trump, he's taking from the rich short term and handing it to the middle class through lower prices.
I've spoken to many countries. They all want to do, just so you understand the power of what I'm doing, every country is calling and being very solicitous of us. Very, very nice. They're being very nice. And we have to be able to justify, this is not sustainable. The United States can't lose $1.9 trillion on trade. We can't do that and also spend a lot of money on NATO in order to protect European nations. We cover them with military, then we lose money on trade. The whole thing is crazy. And I got elected on that basis. We explained it. You know, the American people understand it a lot better than the media.
And I appreciate what the president is doing on tariffs, specifically in our home state of Wyoming. In terms of beef, the cattle producers,
Bingo.
They're saying it is about time.
Yeah.
One of the countries that you just showed on that slip before I came on, Australia. Australia has sold $29 billion worth of beef in the United States, and we haven't been able to sell one hamburger in Australia because of barriers. They showed Thailand, 30% tariffs on beef coming from the United States. Vietnam, 50%. You look at these numbers, and the ranchers of Wyoming are saying, thank you, Mr. President, it is about time.
Is this more expensive for the consumer in the short term? Yes. The money is staying local. Okay, you're not funding these other countries and their businesses. That is the purpose behind all of this. Will we have a recession? Yes. Will prices go up in the short term? Yes. But the lagging effect is all of that money now stays here with us. It's not leaving the country, which gives us more money in the United States to go around for everybody.
I think it's going very well. It was an operation, like when a patient gets operated on, and it's a big thing. I said this would exactly be the way it is. We have $6 or $7 trillion coming into our country, and we've never seen anything like it. The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom, and the rest of the world wants to see, is there any way they can make a deal? They've taken advantage of us for many, many years. For many years, we've been at the wrong side of the ball, and I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be unbelievable. The thing that people have to talk about, we're up almost to $7 trillion of investment coming into our country, and you'll see how it's going to turn out. Our country's going to boom.
You know, a lot of auto worker families are generational. Their dad worked at one of the auto companies. Their grandfather may have. They may have uncles like I did that worked in the auto industry. My grandfather also worked for Chrysler. And to see those plants close one after another and just sit idle and then fall into disrepair and collapse, they become abandoned buildings. It's like a war. It's like a war zone in Detroit. So it's been really painful. So I've been fighting for the auto industry for the past 15 or 18 years, and I'm glad to see Donald Trump finally standing up and saying he's going to do something about it.
Drop a comment and let me know what you think about this new radically different economic strategy. Let's start a conversation, get some different ideas going. Hey, you guys rock for making it to the end. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one.